Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be making a simple pizza. To start, you're going to make your pizza dough. To do this, measure into a medium-sized bowl 380 grams or 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Then to this, you're going to add 10 grams of granulated sugar and 6 grams of fine sea salt. Once all of your ingredients are in the bowl, whisk thoroughly to combine. Once combined, discard the whisk and set aside your flour mixture for later. Then, into a measuring cup, you're going to add 250 milliliters or 1 cup of lukewarm water, around 36 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Then to your water, you're going to add 5 grams of instant yeast. Whisk with a fork until all of your yeast is dissolved. Once all of your yeast is dissolved, remove the fork. Then bring back your flour mixture and tip your yeasty water into your flour mixture. Then start kneading this with your hands. You want to mix it with your hands until a shaggy ball of dough forms. Once a shaggy ball of dough has formed, you want to tip it out onto a clean counter. Make sure you tip out any extra flour in the bowl as well. Then you want to start kneading your dough to work in all of the flour. This can take anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. You want to continue kneading until the soft dough has formed. If you've missed any flour in your bowl or there's any dough stuck to the sides, scrape it out now and continue to knead your dough to work it in. If you got it all out, you can skip this step and move on to the next one. The extra kneading will take anywhere between 1 to 2 minutes to work in all of the extra flour. Once you've worked in all of the flour and made a smooth dough, shape it into a taut ball and put it into a lightly greased bowl. Grease your bowl with a neutral tasting oil such as sunflower oil or vegetable oil. Once your dough is in the bowl, you want to cover the bowl with plastic wrap or cling film. Once you've covered your bowl, let your dough rest at room temperature for anywhere between 1 to 2 hours or until it has doubled in size. Now that your dough has finished proofing and has doubled in size, remove the plastic wrap and discard it. Then punch down your dough to remove the gas. Now, lightly dust your work surface with a small amount of all-purpose flour. We do this so that when we put the dough on there, it does not stick to your work surface, and if it is too sticky, you can knead in a small amount more of all-purpose flour. Now, you want to separate your dough into two pieces. Each piece will become one pizza base. Once you've separated your dough, you want to bring the sides into the bottom and shape it into a taut ball. Do this with both pieces of dough. Once you've done this, place them on a tray lined with baking paper. Then cover your tray with a clean tea towel and let rest at room temperature for half an hour. Now that your dough has finished resting, remove the tea towel and discard it. If your two pieces of dough have joined together while resting, separate them. Take one of your two pieces of dough off of the bake paper and set the other aside. To make your dough into your pizza base, what you want to do is lightly flour your work surface and roll your dough into a ball. This will help with the final shape. Once you've done so, grab a rolling pin and start rolling once or twice over the surface, then turning 90 degrees. This will make your dough a circle. Continue this motion until your dough is big enough to fit in your pizza tray. Now that you have finished rolling out your first piece of dough, what you will want to do is take your second piece of dough off of the bake paper. If any dough sticks to the bake paper, just rub it off using your fingers. Discard of the tray and the bake paper. To make your second pizza base, you will repeat what you've done before. While rolling out your second pizza base, you may need to reflour your work surface to make sure that your base doesn't stick. Now that you've finished rolling out both of your pizza bases, it's time to add your toppings. For mine, I'm simply going to add tomato paste, cheese, ham, and pineapple for a Hawaiian pizza. You can add whatever toppings you want on your pizza, but make sure that you layer them going sauce, a small amount of cheese, then any meat or vegetables, and then cheese on top. You can add another sauce to drizzle over the top of the second layer of cheese if you want. For my sauce, I'm using about 50 grams of tomato paste. For your other toppings, you can add as much or as little as you want. For mine, I'm adding about 2 handfuls of pizza cheese, which is a mixture of Parmesan, mozzarella, and cheddar, onto the bottom of my base. Then I'm adding about 80 grams of sliced ham on top of that. Now that I've added my ham and cheese, I'm going to add a handful of pineapple onto the pizza. This will give it a small amount of sweetness and a change in texture. Now that you've got all of your other toppings on, it's time to add a large amount of cheese on top to cover it all up. Now that you've finished decorating your pizza, place it into a 190 degrees Celsius oven or around 375 degrees Fahrenheit for between 10 and 20 minutes or until the cheese is melted and turning golden brown on top. Once your cheese is golden brown on top, grab a oven mitt or a dry tea towel and remove your pizza from the oven. Then, using a hard flipper, remove your pizza from the pizza tray onto a chopping board to slice. Now that your pizza is out of the oven, slice it up and serve.